Mute that. Get rid of the rhythm bot. Bye. Alright, I think we're live. Everything's good, everything's good. Cool. Any last things? Nothing. Alright, we back. Episode 23. Kind of patriotic, but I don't know quite why. Just copying this man over here. He came through with the Captain America stuff. And I was like, you know what? Can't let him show me up. So I throw on this hat that can barely cover all my hair I got. But we back. We're gonna talk about some random stuff. Probably talk about some Shakari Richardson. Not sure how to pronounce her first name. July 4th, and much other stuff. We'll see what we get into. But I'm Tevin. I got my homie here, Light. Them do his introduction. I know you got something weird to say.
I am like, you know what I mean? Stay hydrated. If you're going firework responsibly. And make sure your hot pockets are cooked all the way through before you take that first bite.
Make sure to not cook too hot though. Get a nice pepperoni pizza one, and take a bite into the middle of it. Burn your tongue. It's like that junk used to happen all the time. All right. So for the first time in a long time, got some memes put together. So I'll hop into those first. Present America. What are you expecting to see out of this?
Man, hopefully some Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson related content. That's what I'm or Guy. I will also accept Guile from Street Fighter.
I mean, that would have been a good idea. I just kind of just quickly ran through it. It's all good though. We'll get them next time.
Oh my god.
I mean, I feel like this
Yo.
is accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Sav, um, who actually is a European, and I'm interested as to what their take on this holiday is.
So shout out to who?
But yeah, Sav, a friend of the show,
Okay. I was thinking
but
Final
uh,
Fantasy 13. I was like, bro, what?
they are a Final Fantasy fan, but
Makes sense then.
um, yeah, I would imagine it's a similar sentiment across the pond.
Yeah.
Over here looking at us all crazy. What is this?
Some record-setting heats. Go ahead and put some hot dogs on the antenna on your car.
Oh, they're on the antenna. Yo, I
You
was
thought
like,
they were
why
just
are they
out there
finished?
stats?
Yo.
Super glued the hot dogs
I
together.
was so confused.
Bruh.
That's crazy. But would they even get a crispy skin though? Like, would they? Because I'm not eating them hot dogs without no grill lines
I,
or
I mean,
you know what I mean.
I feel like some
A
people like
little
the raw skin on the outside.
nah. Well, you know what those people are? People are. And then they're not about America. Yep.
Happy Treason Day.
Yeah. I'm I'm less of the persuasion when it comes to like I mean obviously yes it was considered treason to people across the pond, but I'm more of the persuasion that like Um, I didn't know where I was going with this.
Dang.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say like, I was gonna say that I feel more like it's about celebrating colonizers, but like it's the same thing just from two different standpoints because we're the people that got colonized and they see it. I mean, there's still colonizers on the other side of the spectrum. It's just that they weren't the people that were affected by it. If that makes any sense.
I think that makes sense. Because, like, they were part of the process of colonizing, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I'll go on the record saying black coffee does not taste good at all. But I guess it's not even about it tasting good. It's about the superpowers you get from drinking the coffee
I, I'll drink black coffee, but I'm putting sugar in it.
and cream.
Is that still is it still black
I
if it's got
mean,
sugar?
if the sugar isn't turning it some other color, I think you're fine.
Yeah, like, but no, I can't do coffee with no sugar.
Oh yeah,
Straight up, like it's gotta at least have sugar.
yeah.
I like my coffee how I like my women,
Moving on.
which is thick and creamy.
Oh my goodness. Captain
Yeah,
America.
yes. Steve Rogers, the most wholesome thing about this country. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. This is why I'm wearing the shirt because what this man represents is what I'm actually celebrating. You can have all the actual American flags and I mean patriotism. I'm celebrating Captain America. That's what I'm celebrating.
So the thing I'm curious about, and I think I've asked you this before, is this Delta variant gonna pop off? And
Man,
is this a potential time for a quote unquote super spreader event?
man, we've been having super spreader events all year, all year round.
Yeah, but this is
We've been
like
having
the
super.
grandfather one,
It,
the big
I
daddy.
don't know if I would argue that because you got what else you have like throughout the course of the year. You got Mardi Gras. Uh,
I mean, there was more restrictions though on that stuff.
man, I don't know. I don't see people like partying on Fourth of July. Maybe I'm just the wrong the wrong color to care about that though. Like I don't know if white people go off and like get like blackout drunk on the Fourth of July. I don't know. Like I don't know anybody that does it. So like I don't know. I like the first thing I associate the Fourth of July with is not like mass parties. Like it's more like fireworks, cookouts, maybe like decent sized family gatherings, but not like I'm not just picturing a whole bunch of college kids somewhere
Like
at like a
star
hotel
dating.
or like
Is that what you're thinking of?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it gets to that level, but like people do congregate a whole bunch, and as always, alcohol is involved, getting people's faces, blah blah blah. So I
mm,
don't know. I'm just curious if it's gonna happen or not. Can't say it will, can't say it won't. Just curious.
yeah.
I think this
Here we
is
go.
warrior speed.
Yeah, that's must be. I'm not a hotep, by the way. I am not a hotep. For anybody watching that thinks I am, I'm not a hotep.
What is a hotep?
So that's the joke is that like the people that wear these apps, like people call them hoteps, and it's all like everything. Like it doesn't matter what you say, they'll make it about like, oh, but the white man just wants you to think that type shit. Like, I don't even know what like they only date.
Dr.
Like,
Umar Johnson.
yes, yes, he is a hotep. He is a literal hotep. I cannot stand that man. Like,
Bro.
I am very much pro black, but I am not oh, because he'll straight up say like he'll comment on other activists and he'll be like, oh, if you date a white woman, then I can't respect your opinion, and I'm just like, bro, what? Like, come on, man.
Man, let the man be, dude. You're gonna have to check out some of his stuff
Uh,
today. Just because you said
oh
you
my
don't like
god.
him. I like that.
We're okay. All right.
Bruh.
Yes, this right here, we got Bill Cosby running around making more forbidden pudding, and
Ooh.
we got Britney Spears, who still does not have control of her own money.
I mean, supposedly to add to the pudding, supposedly he has a comedy tour coming out.
Uh, you know what's disappointing? I know there's going to be a lot of people that I'm a fan of that are probably going to end up on that comedy tour just because they want to show their support for Bill Cosby and they think he was innocent and they think he doesn't deserve what he got and all that. And the idea of that is disappointing because I know I'm going to see some people that I really enjoy on that comedy tour. But hey, entertainers have their own perspectives and opinions on things too. I'm not always going to agree with them. So,
Yeah. I mean, that can be kind of like, again, separating the good from the bad. Like, is
yeah.
it okay to support the people that are a part of it, even though they're supporting someone that is allegedly a bad person?
I mean, I won't support the tour. I'll say that right off the bat. I don't have to support the tour, but like if you and I doubt anybody that's going to end up on this tour like is going to see this specific episode of this specific podcast. But if you back Bill Cosby now that he's free, I'm side eyeing you. This man's out here. He is providing the the craft services for R. Kelly's little parties. That's what Bill Cosby said.
Gosh.
Like I would just zoom on. I know.
Bro, after looking at the picture of the
I
states,
was I was
I
like,
was like, what are they
what?
doing here? And I looked at the picture of the states. I was like, oh, I can see the nose and
Yeah,
everything.
I can see both noses.
Yeah. How do they come up with this, man? How do people see these things?
Somebody had a little bit too much time. A little bit. I'm mad they used was it a picture from Star Trek though. Got my man Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard, just getting rolled on. Like, hey, let me talk to you about this 15% I can save you on your car insurance by switching to Geico. Like,
Bro, not interested at all. This is something crazy that I had seen. I don't know, someone dang the Olympic Committee doing more to protect their athletes from weed than they did to protect the gymnast from a prolific doctor. Yo, that's
I'm not super hip to the reference.
okay. So I don't know the exact year, but like either last Olympics or sometime between 2012 and now, there was a doctor that worked with the gymnast on Team USA, and he got in trouble because he was, I guess, sexually harassing or assaulting some of the athletes. on the teams, and pretty much they cracked down on that pretty hard. Like once they found out about it, and so they're making a comparison between this and Shikari Shikari.
Well, yeah, I got the comparison. I
Hmm.
just didn't know what it was referencing.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
that's what ended up happening a little while back, which I personally don't like that comparison. But
oh, there's a comparison that Tevin doesn't
I mean,
like. I thought anything was fair game.
what? I mean, I feel like this is up your alley of calling it a false equivalency. So
Yeah, yeah, because like while I get the reference, I don't like the first of all, the phrasing is weird to me because it's like I get the point that they're going for, but there's two different parts of this that I'm just kind of like I'm raising my eyebrow at. The first part of it is protecting athletes from weed. Like the weed is in the locker room giving them wedgies and swirlies or something like that. I'm just like, bro, what are you what are you talking about? Like, but I know what they're trying to say. They're saying that oh yeah, weed is so terrible uh, for the athletes that it's just. But again, it's perpetuated by the stereotypes that weed is just for criminals and slackers. The same. The McGruff the crime dog and the Dare Lion. They out here like they smell a faint trace of weed and they're out here beating people up. Like that's you know like in the after school specials they always show like the people who are smoking weed is like these just like terrible people.
schlong.
Like that's that's an extreme like it's a caricature, but that's really how people treat people who smoke weed. So
I say it's pretty
like
accurate.
it's less yeah it's less about actually protecting people from weed and more just about demonizing regular people who do use it. And it's gonna take a while to get away from that mentality, not only in this country but just like everywhere. But primarily in this country though.
Mm.
But yeah, it's gonna take a while. I think it's part of that old generation that still thinks like tattoos and piercings are like creations of the devil.
I mean, new things always do scare people, so take a little bit of time.
Yes.
All right, so is this movie out now?
Hmm.
Oh gosh, because I was wondering, I was like, why
Yeah.
are these memes just like flooding everywhere right now? It doesn't make sense, but yeah, okay. Because I just saw it as like a commercial, like I don't know, like 10 minutes ago. It's like Fast 9 out now. Oh man,
Yeah.
I hate the internet.
Yeah, it came out last month or something like that. And the whole reason like these memes are taking off is because like I haven't seen the movie yet. But apparently they go to space. They really do go to space. And like that's you're like, oh, we just throwing all the logic out the window. You know what I mean? Like so people just started going crazy with these memes. And
They're
at
going
first
to
they were talking about
space.
like they might actually be in space, but now it's just like they're going to town. I'm loving it because people, if y'all want to clown the MCU for a lack of logic, you know what I mean. But we not gonna talk about Fast and Furious stuff. Like y'all out here on freaking glaciers fighting tanks with sports cars, but now we in space.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Don't
That's the beauty of
don't
it, dude.
ever don't ever come for the MCU again.
That's the beauty of it. What? They went to space?
Man, I saw a clip from the movie though. They're like on a spoilers, I guess. They're like on a cliff and they're going down, and they're about to like drive their car off a cliff, and there's like a rope bridge that isn't like up, but like the rope is still on the pole, This man uses the rope to swing his car from one side of the cliff to the other, Tevin. I'm just like, bro, what? like,
Wait, was he just holding on to the rope,
no, I don't
or was the
know, cause like I
car
saw
on the rope?
the car was like on the rope and swinging from the rope to get to the other side.
I
It was
feel
like,
like that can happen though, as long as the rope doesn't
oh my,
break.
oh my
That
god.
has to be some tough rope.
But yes, yes,
Yo,
I love these memes. These
that
memes are
struck
killing
his
me.
family, bro. You want to shoot a
Mm.
gun?
Oh my god.
All right,
I'm loving it.
all right. That's the end of that. I have some
Yeah,
videos and
don't.
whatnot we can jump into, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say, don't come for the MCU. We out here making good content, enjoyable content. Go see Black Widow next weekend. Don't let that movie fail. All right, don't let Black Widow fail. We waited 2 years for this movie. Don't let Black Widow flop. Y'all out here going to go see car races in space. Y'all better be out here supporting Black Widow
Yo,
and Shang Chi. We need more female representation and Asian getting lead roles in movies. So if y'all gonna go see some dumb shit like Fast 9, y'all better go see both those movies.
is there explosions in that movie?
I don't know, but I would assume so. It's a Marvel movie.
Okay, then I think that could be arranged. People won't be down for that. My man Schultz, you trying to hop in here? Kyle over here scheming? I don't know if you're listening. Oh, is he gone? I think he's gone. No worries. Um, what do I have next? I'm just hopping into some of these videos. What? Do you want to hop on the podcast, good sir? All right. So I have these videos lined up. Is this the right one? I think that's the right one. What do you see? I mean, those are appropriate to answer too. You will get chastised for it.
What?
Talking to Kyle in the chat.
Uh,
Um. All right. So saw some videos. Thought they were kind of cool and kind of represented America and whatever other topics we're gonna get into. Well, aside from this one, which is gonna be kind of funny. Um, I'll start with this one. So you mentioned something about fireworks. Make sure
is
this.
this the dog?
Yeah, the joke mad funny. Yo, the part at the end.
Yeah.
That dog wanted to die, dude.
Yeah, I seen this and I was like somewhat freaking out because I was like, "Yo, like the house is gonna like catch on fire, like the dog's gonna get hurt or something like that." And I'm like,
Right.
Nobody was hurt, no animals were hurt, and the house is fine." So, like,
I was so confused. All
oh, I
right.
just watched this.
Did
I
you?
didn't know what was going
I was
on.
about to
I
ask you. I
didn't
was like, what do you
know.
think is gonna happen? Because this is crazy.
Yeah, I didn't understand what I was looking at until like I had to watch it like 3 times.
I mean, okay. There's a couple things I want to point out here. Couple things. All right. One is a good catch. I appreciate that. The piece I don't like is we're dropping the baby before the beer, man. Like, why is that a
Yeah.
thing? Like, come
Mm.
on. I understand the beers are probably like $10 at the game, something crazy like that. But come on, man. But he had a reflexes to catch it back, so it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, it's still mad irresponsible,
For real,
but
dude.
like, and then because like you see the old dude's face sitting down, like at the bottom of the screen. He was legitimately concerned.
The
He
handout
was
right
more
here.
concerned. Yeah. And then homeboy in the Yankee fitted is that a Yankee? The black hat. Um, he was just super excited that he caught the ball because I was like at first like his face was just like oh my god, and then like you even see homeboy
Just creeps in.
on the left, yeah, like, just cheesing. Like look at that dude's face. Look at his face right
Bro.
now. He's just like yeah man. All
All right. And then there's this. Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
Okay. So it's like the kids bop version of bodies.
I don't know if I know the regular version of this song.
Yeah, you do. Don't play that game. Let me make sure my volume's up.
All right.
Yo, shout outs to them. I'm assuming this is the person that made it entity, whatever. Shout outs to them. That is creative genius in my mind.
That's something. If Kids Bop sounded like that, I might actually like try to listen to it.
Yo.
Stay y'all out here uh talking about wet ass pasta.
Wait, is that what they changed it to?
Man, I don't know.
Okay,
I
I
was
was
making
about
a
to
joke.
say, I have not heard this version. So there better be some some rotini
or
in there. Wings and
wings
pizza.
and pizza.
Yo, my goodness. All right, what we got next? We could have the same argument we had like 3 days in a row, or we could do
Yeah,
some
but
online research. You do either one.
the, the people at home don't know for context, but we just gonna
Oh, popped in.
we gonna talk about a man over here. Got the if you just gonna pop in all cryptic, if you're gonna pop in all cryptically like that, you gotta have the arrow theme playing when you come in the chat.
Actually got the arrow mask somewhere around here. Well, let me turn my light on.
All right.
There we go.
All right, that's it. My man Schulte here for the main event. Came in with the steel chair, ready to rumble. Ugh.
Still chair.
Gonna kick some
Would you?
ass.
Well, how would you?
Bubblegum.
How would you feel if one time on like WrestleMania or something, steel chair they used a gaming chair? Would that be?
That would be kind of heavy, dude.
Yeah.
Cause I think the chair that I have is like, I think at least like 50 pounds or something stupid. I know they get
I
pretty
can't
heavy.
remember how much mine is or how much it weighs. I mean, uh,
Yeah.
I think the box said like 70 pounds, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's Secret Lab, so
Mm.
Yeah,
hard
you just gotta two-hand it. You gotta two-hand it.
I mean, you got to be like up close. Like, are you throwing it or are you gonna just like try to beat somebody down with it? Either way, it's gonna be kind of hard. But that's just my take on it.
I
What's
Food for
agree.
thought.
what's going on with you, Kyle?
Not much. Just taking a break from schoolwork.
We're no 4th of July celebrations.
Getting ready. Once I'm done here, I'll be going to my parents' house to shoot off fireworks.
Oh, word, bro.
I just like explosions.
I mean, I'm not opposed. It's been a hot minute
Right?
since I shot off fireworks, but that'd be totally cool to do. As long as you aren't doing it indoors. I'm just saying,
You figured me out.
gotta make sure to be specific about that. Never know what's gonna happen.
I mean, if you do it indoors, just be safe. I mean, make
That's a
sure it's not your
paradoxical statement.
make sure it's not your house.
That's the safest you can be.
If you got a family member you do not like at all, use their house.
My
Oh
goodness,
my
man.
god.
Don't do it inside of a
And off to
treehouse.
go buy some groceries or something. Life lessons by me.
My goodness. I don't know about that one. I don't know. All right,
All right.
boys. Let's move.
All right. So we can get into it. Yeah, I know you've been itching. I know you've been itching. So why don't we just drop the ball? Just let it rain. Air it out. You know what I
Tribute
mean?
suit. All right. So forgive me about the name. I don't know if you've been paying attention, Kyle, but feel free to hop in on this. I'm gonna explain a little bit. Okay. Um, Forgive me on the name. Heard multiple things. Shikari. I heard Shikari on TV. Something about Shikari.
Shakira?
No.
Who Shakira?
Are you joking or are you not joking?
Talking about right now.
Okay, I'm explaining it. Here we go. Okay, so the Olympic trials has been going on around the world and in the U.S. And there is a young lady by the name of Shikari Richardson. Um, and she got caught through a drug test, with THC, I guess would be the proper
Yeah.
chemical. in
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
system. So because of that, she is banned for a month, and she won't be able to run the 100-meter dash, even though she was the top American. She won't be able to run the 100-meter dash at the Olympics. There's a lot more information behind that, but I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. Then I can kind of
I
fill in some
think
blanks.
I think it's dumb. They want to cite that pot is a performance enhancing drug, which the only real thing it enhances as far as performance goes is your eating capabilities.
Yo.
Well, I mean, somehow they're running or they're doing their thing and they imagine a Snickers bar at the end of the lane. Damn, I want to go to that.
I mean, is that not a performance enhancing drug then? You get the
Oh, come
extra
on, man.
motivation?
Come on. Oh, I got a big meal waiting on me when I get done with this. Come
Yes.
on.
Nah.
No,
But
no,
in all seriousness,
no.
I don't think it's listed as a performance
Maybe
enhancing
that's
drug.
just destroy some food.
It's listed as a banned substance. I don't think it's listed as a performance enhancing drug, um, from my understanding. But
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
And there's, like I said, there's people trying to repeal the like the actual, I guess, the organization that came up with the rule. I guess that the anti-doping people, the thing I sent you on Twitter. Like I don't know what who they are in correlation to the Olympics. Like I don't know, but uh, yeah, weed is not a performance enhancing drug. I know there's probably a bunch of people that are gonna like try to stretch that. You know what I mean? Like, cause like we're joking here, but they're gonna say some shit like that and be serious. Like, you know what I mean? But it's
Like,
definitely not a.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was just gonna say it's definitely not a performance enhancer.
No.
And like we were just talking about, I don't know if you're watching this. It's like, uh, when people are depicted using weed, typically in media and in society, we historically we view people who use weed as criminals and unsavory. When that's not the case. Like if you watch like old like '90s cartoons, they were like taking kids in like back alleys and beating them up. And I'm like, bro, that's not like why do y'all associate we criminals? Like, I think honestly, different countries and organizations that condemn the use of marijuana, I think it comes more from just like negative stereotypes than any kind of like scientific research. Honestly, because from my perspective, I'm like, yo, like it's socially acceptable to get like blackout drunk and
Yeah,
go into work tonight. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
alcohol is way more harmful to your system, and like people go to work and brag about how drunk they got over the. So and it's nobody bats an eye. But if you're like, oh man, I smoked like one joint, you know what I mean? People like lose their minds. So I think it's negative stereotypes uh more than any kind of scientific research.
yeah. You don't necessarily news. Wow, lose your job over partying the night before from drinking or down in a keg or anything like that. But if you pop negative on a pot test, you lose your job.
Hmm.
Like it's dumb. I mean, I don't smoke pot. I have in the past. I don't really care to do much anymore. I'm just don't like to not be sober.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously, I've said in the past on this podcast, I do take photos for a CBD company. So I do know there are benefits with CBD, and some of the CBD does have THC in it. But it's not enough for it to pop on a drug test, unless you were to like bathe in a lot of it. which is still kind of impossible.
Freaking body lotion. Yeah. Oh man. Kind of got away from the point. Yes, I
But
understand.
But
We
yeah,
all agree
I
that
do also
we.
want to bring up that years ago, Michael Phelps got popped for a pot test, and he was not getting as much I guess hatred or flack for it.
Yes, he was.
I mean,
The
like
internet
from
just
the
wasn't
media.
running rampant as much as social media is now. I think that's the
True.
biggest thing. Like he got a logger ban, allegedly. Well, I need. This is what we're doing here this for. Supposedly he got his medals taken away. I don't know how true that is.
Really?
Yeah, because like a lot of people make that comparison too, and I'm just like no, dude, it's not really. You can't just boil it down like that. Like it's easy to make that comparison and run with it, but let me see. To find an actual news company.
Was suspended for 3 months in 2009 by USA Swimming after a photograph emerged that showed him smoking marijuana. However, Phillips did not test positive for the drug, and the photo was taken months after the 2008 Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
I
so
can't.
so he had his
It
medals
was a
taken
photograph.
after the fact.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how legitimate that piece is about him losing his medals. Because you didn't say anything
It
about that,
yeah.
Kyle, did you?
No, this one I'm seeing right now says that he didn't lose any medals. It's just that
Hmm.
a photo came up and he was suspended for 3 months, and I guess they launched an investigation about it.
Yeah. Like I know he lost like some brand deals, which arguably that could be even worse. Talking about financially anyway. Um, but yeah, I'm not a fan of people making the comparisons because like someone made that comparison, someone made another comparison with a when they're trying to focus on race. There was a white athlete from America that either has records in the 1500 and 5K, or something like that, and she got caught for steroids and got banned for 4 years. And some people are trying to make some comparison based on
But
race between
but
the two
but
situations.
but the important part of that story is that the steroids were from pork, if I'm not mistaken correctly.
That's what she says.
Like she wasn't just she wasn't just like steroids.
That's what she says. We don't know. Steroids are from pork. Like,
I mean, it's not far fetched. Like if you tell me that I can get steroids from a pork sandwich, I'd believe that. Like I don't know what they're putting in our food.
how she know it's
Like
specifically from that pork sandwich or whatever.
maybe that's the only thing she ate that day. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
Like
steroids gonna last in your system longer than just one day, but that's just me.
man,
I don't
oh,
know. I
okay,
don't take steroids, so I
okay.
don't know.
Like we're arguing semantics, but like the point is like the the fact that steroids could be in food is completely.
Yeah,
Does anybody disagree?
I agree with that,
Like
but I don't know to the extent to where it's gonna pop up in your blood in your system like that. But again, I don't know. I'm not a I'm not a head figure in this. I can't speak against it or for it. Say my opinion.
I don't know. I like I said this off stream because we've been talking about it the past couple days. And I know I'm gonna catch flack for it because I mean, that's JW Liggett, and people basically count on me to have this standpoint. But yeah, I do think race plays some underlying factor. Just because, again, like if you show me some scientific proof that weed is actually a performance enhancer, then sure, like then there should be a rule banning weed for any type of athletes anywhere. But until that scientific proof comes, I feel like there's no base on banning marijuana in performance sports, like in any sport. And I'm like, okay, so if it's not based on and actually why is the weed banned in the first place? Like, is it just the stereotypes? And what do those stereotypes come from? And what do those stereotypes normally get grouped?
I mean,
It's
you can go that route. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you have to recognize what you said earlier. I think is a little bit closer, or what both of y'all said earlier. When you're comparing it to alcohol, alcohol has been around for a such longer time period than marijuana has. So it's more socially acceptable, as y'all were saying. Weed, at least to the extent that we're seeing it now, wasn't really around until like what maybe mid 1900s, at least in like relatively mainstream. Like back then, it wasn't really mainstream. Would you guys agree with that statement? It was around enough to be known about rather than just being like this closet drug that only Native American Indians, whatever you want to call them, use. It wasn't anything like that.
I mean, as far as I can remember, there's like some Japanese documents of them using pot back then, but that's hard telling when that was dated back to and against, the alcohol thing. Because I mean, alcohol's been a thing since ancient Egypt.
Yeah,
And hard telling if they had weed in ancient Egypt. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a historian.
I don't know. I think that's what the difference is. But like what you're saying, like I understand and I partially agree, but I don't think it's like, yo, black people are smoking weed, we're about to crack down on them. It's not like that. I don't think it's anything like that. They're just enforcing a
and
rule that's in place,
no,
which happens to hit a group more because it's more accessible to that group.
But why is it more accessible to that group?
Because cocaine costs a heck of a lot more money.
I don't like
But I'm
cocaine.
saying,
It makes my nose feel funny.
but I'm
I don't
saying
do
though,
Put it in smoothies, man.
but
Put it in
I'm saying though, like normally I'm not one for conspiracy theories, like at all. I just find it awful funny that we have these young girls, these young black girls, who are about to trample over everybody, looking like Starfire getting ready to go ham on the Injustice League. But and then all of a sudden something comes along and no, she can't. You know what I mean? So I don't normally like to play games or feed into these theories, but I'm just like and like we heard there's like 6 black athletes getting suspended for various reasons all in a very short time period, who are all doing like exceedingly well, in their respective fields. And I'm just like,
All right. To go
like,
against that, again, you said all within the same time period. The Olympic trials are happening. What other time period is going to happen?
oh, okay.
I mean, like there's a period where they need to be tested prior to the actual Olympics. So like, I I don't agree at all with that one piece. And then
Okay.
the other piece with black athletes. Usually, black athletes are dominating the sprinting events to begin with, especially when it comes to America. Like that. That's just we can look at almost any year between now and when black athletes were first. Okay, maybe not that far back, but like we could almost look at any year, and
I would say,
it's the people that are winning that are going to get tested because those are people that
yeah.
they have to worry about going to the Olympics and begin actually using drugs or not using drugs.
I guess.
I'll stay quiet though. Go ahead.
No, you good. It's you good. That's valid. Still bullshit. But
Just out of curiosity, like I looked up how long ago did we discover weed or the first case of pot or whatever you want to say? Um 28 million years ago.
How do they
Is when
know?
archaeology. Archaeology. And the first let me see if I can find the article again.
28
Uh
million years.
Cannabis, also known as hemp or marijuana, evolved about 28 million years ago on the eastern Tibetan plateau, according to a pollen study published in May. This is from an article from sciencemagazine.org in 2019. Now let's compare that to alcohol. Human ancestors may have begun evolving the knack for consuming alcohol about 10 million years ago, long before modern humans began brewing booze. This is from livescience.com.
So, but the thing, like weed evolved at that point, but it's not necessarily that people were using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on
Like,
top
there's
of that,
no.
if it's not being regulated, that's when people start to get kind of pissy about it. By people, I mean
An
like
archaeological site in the
common guy.
Oki Islands near Japan contained cannabis from about 8,000 BC, probably signifying the use of the plant. Hemp use archaeologically dates back to the Neolithic age in China, with hemp fiber imprints found on. And to any viewers who are Chinese, I apologize for the butchering of this. Yang Shao culture pottery dating from the 5th millennium BC. Granted,
Man.
that part that's from Wikipedia, so it might not even be true.
My goodness.
All right, but to your point earlier, saying that weed is more accessible to certain groups of people, like we can't laugh off the fact, or we can't just like dismiss the fact that race is part. Well, because if certain drugs are more accessible to certain groups of people, like why are those drugs more accessible? Right? And it's easy to say, oh, it's because certain drugs are cheaper than others. And I'm like, okay, but certain drugs are cheaper than other drugs for the same reason that junk food is cheaper than health food. You know what I mean?
What's that reason?
Like, so they can make more money off, like they have like addictive qualities, and your marketing companies definitely target specific groups of people, poorer classes of people, you know, to continue making a profit.
Do you think that junk food is cheaper to make in comparison to health food? Healthy food?
I would assume it's not, because a lot of healthy food is found naturally. Like, you don't have to do much to a lot of quote unquote healthy foods.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it's
can just
just
take like cabbage, smash it together, and you got a burger somehow.
Yeah, but how long does it take to grow the cabbage? How many people do you have to pay to till and grow it, watering it, all the other chemicals you might have to use to protect it from being eaten by insects,
man,
processing
I don't
it,
know.
making sure it's the
I don't
right
know about
size
all.
and all this other stuff.
I don't know about all
Growing
that.
cabbage, you're looking at a couple months.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
What,
I think like
The ingredients
200
involved and
days.
all that stuff. Like,
man,
I would
I don't
argue
know about
that
all.
junk food is easier to create.
Have you had a cabbage burger? It's weird. Like you take your first bite, like man, this tastes like beef. You go back, take your second bite. This is cabbage. You go back, take that third bite. No, this is beef. You look at it like,
Man,
oh, it's green.
Shame on you, man.
uh,
Shame on you.
all I'm saying,
Fooled you
all I'm
twice.
saying is that when it comes to, like, there's documentation, right? There's documentation that drugs were introduced to certain neighborhoods at certain points throughout American history, just to, like, I don't know like the proper phrase to use, but just to
Experiment.
basically upset, yeah, experiment, upset things. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, and a lot of these were black neighborhoods. That's why you talk about like the crack epidemic, and you know what I mean, the war on drugs and stuff like that. Like, that's, you know, it disproportionately targets people of color. So, like, why are drugs cheaper and more accessible in neighborhoods where black people live? Like, you can't dismiss race being a factor and then talk about that without circling back to race. Like,
Look up Gary Webb.
Who's Gary Webb?
He was a journalist in I think the 1980s. Hold on. He was a journalist in the 1980s. I don't know if it was for Time or New York Magazine. I can't remember, but
The Mercury
he
News.
he uncovered a lot of stuff about how basically what Light is talking about is they're targeting drugs for black society or black neighborhoods and all that, and it's basically I'm butchering because it's been so long since I. He uncovered this whole thing, and he was found with. Is this YouTube? This is not YouTube. Good. Anyways, was found dead in his apartment, I believe, with 2 gunshot wounds to the head, and they marked it as suicide.
Mm. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean,
How you gonna get the second shot off?
I mean, yeah, I mean, like we can go deep down this rabbit hole, but
Nah,
like,
I don't.
but
Like
like,
we're not disagreeing with each other on that. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
yeah, but like the whole my whole point was to just is every instance or situation like this based on race, but to act like it's not possible that it plays a factor in some of these decisions when these rules do get enforced. Because
Yeah.
I guarantee that there's definitely instances where something like this probably happens. We don't even hear about it because it's like, oh well, it's not really that much, so we're just gonna let it slide. But I don't know. I can't prove that because I'm not on any of these committees. But like, I know for a fact that that happens at like jobs, schools. You know what I mean? For other types of things, not drugs. It definitely happens for drugs, but it also happens when people get in trouble with the law, stuff like that. So I don't know. It
I
just
get that. It sucks that we have to equate these two systems or compare them in the way that we think that they're acting similarly. It could very well be happening, but I would like to operate under the light that it isn't. Because I
okay.
myself have been drug tested for athletics when I was in college, competing track and field as well. And it's before I even did anything, which I thought was kind of weird. So like I kind of understand where you're getting at. Um, so yeah, my freshman year before I even competed or really anything, I think there was like 5 of us that got tested on our team, and it was like a random drug test. We didn't know anything about it. We just got called in. Um, like I said, there was 5 of us. It was randomly only for our team, just five athletes on our team, and it was like me and like 3 other black dudes, and then there was just like one white dude. So like I was curious about that. I was like, I haven't done nothing yet. Why did I get chosen? Just mad curious about. Like, I just showed up. I wasn't super special in high school or anything like that. Just skinny little dude, whatever. But I don't know. So I was curious about that. So I kind of understand what you're getting at. But hey, you sign a contract or something saying that you're going to abide by the rules that are set in place, which marijuana was included on that list of things. You're not supposed to consume this during this
Yeah.
time period. And then you did so with arguably a good reason, coping mechanism. I appreciate that. I understand that. But at the same time, you signed a contract and you just have to live with the results of what happens from the consequences.
Reap what you sow.
Yes. And
I get
sometimes
it.
you don't want to reap weed during the time period.
What I just thought
I
that was sort of like, I mean, like if you sign a contract full well knowing the consequences that could be of your future actions, and you partake in anything that could um, harm your career in any way, and you kind of get what you deserve.
Yes.
I, I get that. I agree with that.
People always
What I
dodge that part. They don't bring that up. But go ahead.
no
Go ahead.
Like,
no
I mean, go ahead, go ahead.
I I I agree with that. What I don't agree with is the fact that marijuana.
You're cutting out, my bad. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're cutting out.
Okay, am I still
I can hear you right now. It's just like your voice is cutting out. That's it.
Yeah,
okay? So am I good right now?
Yep.
right now,
All right.
yes.
So I agree with what you were saying. What I don't agree with is the fact that
They just don't want them to speak. Every single time, I agree with
oh
what you
my
said, but
He's like,
they don't
that is
want
like,
to.
no.
hold on, hold
I'm
on,
just like,
hold on. Let me do something real quick.
Do something.
Obviously,
Do
it's not
something.
important if the mic isn't picking
Do
it up.
something.
No. Okay. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I said I agree with
Your
what you were
camera's
saying.
turned. Your camera's turned.
And you're cutting
Hold
out.
on. Hold on. I'm doing
What? My
something.
table?
Oh my god.
Turned up.
Hold on. I'm trying to. I'm attempting to
If
fix
you guys ever have sleep apnea, just imagine this face looking at you.
Oh man.
Sleep apnea. Sleep paralysis. Just
Oh, so let's say sleep apnea. Just can't breathe all, breathing all weird.
like, hello, I'm your sleep paralysis demon for the night.
For the night.
this.
I just got a 4 hour shift, which is part time.
You're only going to sleep 4 hours a day, so you know what, we're just going to cut
Oh
this short.
man.
I'm attempting to fix my internet. That's what I'm doing. So if y'all can just carry the conversation
Oh,
for a
okay.
minute.
Well,
You
I'm
work in
just
IT, I have questions.
um. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, people keep on dodging or not acknowledging that piece, and
Yeah.
for some people, they probably don't know anything about that piece, so it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense,
which
especially if
I
people.
didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't watch. I hear about some things through social media and all that, but for the most part, I don't really care for the news. Mainly because it's just full of negative stuff. So
Oh, for sure. Like this is one of those things. It's like, why do we have to
yeah,
blow this up? Like she made a mistake. Could just let that
yeah,
just go, but
but
she is
yeah.
high profile.
Which all I heard about was she was banned from smoking pot. That was basically it.
Hmm.
Which I'm like, yeah, it's dumb. I mean, yeah, for beginning for popping on a pot test.
Hmm.
Uh, but I didn't know it was in their contract. Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, look at any job. If you're on a job and you sign a contract or uh and you test positive for pot, you're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
It's just like any job.
Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for the people that get fired because they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah. Unless it was like a surprise thing, but usually it isn't. Usually
Yeah.
they say straight up like you have to be drug
Yeah.
tested for this. And like that's definitely a thing with athletics because like every single year when I was in college, and I think she's around her college age, and I'm not sure if she is foregoing college or if she's still competing in college next year. But every single year before college, we have orientation for athletics, and that was one of the things that we would go over, like banned substances. You're not supposed to be using these substances. You can be randomly drug tested during a competition season, like after a championship uh, competition. Uh, and like I said, I was drug tested before I even competed. So like it's something that is definitely known to these athletes. But yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, look it.
Am I cool?
Yeah, you're
Am
cool.
I wavy? All right. So I agree with the people because I'm a firm believer in like the ideology that you're free to do whatever you want to do as long as you accept the consequences of the possible outcomes of your choice. That is how I live my life. But the fact that it is a banned substance, that's what bothers me because I feel like the banned substances should be banned on the basis they actually have some type of impact or
It's the remix version of your conversation. We can't hear shit.
We heard a majority of it. It being banned based off of what?
based off of um scientific evidence that there is some type of impact or influence on your performance.
Like a beneficial impact or
Yes,
influence. Okay.
because like if I'm doing something and it's a handicap, why would I be penalized for that? I'm already penalizing myself by taking the drugs. Like,
Hmm.
because now if it really is detrimental to me, I'm just harming my own chances.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, I don't understand if it's not helping you allegedly or, anything like that. I don't understand why it's banned.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say, and I think you already know this because I already said this to you, but I would say people would argue that it helps with recovery. I don't know how legitimate that is or isn't.
Yeah, I'm not like, because the thing is, if we go by like hypotheses and theories and whatnot, that, like, we can include a whole bunch of stuff. But I want hard scientific facts that it's a performance enhancer.
Oh, is there hard
Otherwise,
scientific facts that it isn't? And does it have to be a performance enhancing thing? Like it doesn't always have to be. I'll have to double check the list of banned substances to move in that direction, but because like it seems like people are just kind of are stuck on the idea that it has to be performance enhancing to be a banned substance.
can you drink while you're performing or not performing, competing? Like, are you allowed to, like, if you have like a week long event and you go home at the end of the night on like night two,
Yeah, and you pop a
are
couple of
you?
boys.
No, I don't think that's something that's going to show up as a banned substance.
But like, if you show back up the next day and you tell people like, hey, like
Like no, no,
I had like,
nothing like that's gonna. To my understanding, like alcohol isn't like a something that you can get in trouble for. Unless you're like at the event and drunk, and then, then that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But as far as it like, oh, I had alcohol in my system, I don't think that's anything to get in trouble with.
see, I don't understand that. I don't like, because
I'm
like the effects of you being high from the weed are gone by the time you show back up, just like alcohol.
Yeah.
It's just that it's still in your system.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, like, you don't smoke a joint and then stay high for like 3 days unless it's some really good weed. But uh but not like, you're not still high. So what's the difference? Even if it wasn't a performance enhancing drug, like, the effects are gone by the time you're actually competing, just like alcohol would be. So I don't understand why it's treated. I don't know.
no, I see what you mean. Like it's like I think we all can agree that it probably shouldn't be on this list. Like the research, I think supports taking it off the list, but I think there needs to be a lot more research to justify both sides. I would say, because I think
Like,
there is a good argument for it.
ultimately, my final opinion on this is basically boils down to, it's one of those things that society has to catch up to. Not society, like, the rules that have been made for certain things don't, they have to catch up to society, because like society is getting to the point where like weed's not a big deal. But obviously there are certain organizations and government agencies that the rules are still what they were made like 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever years ago.
They're still blurred.
Yeah.
Hmm.
As one's vision on being high, which is why they can't compete while high. No, I don't. That's a
But I
reach.
mean, but that's just like anything though, because like the effects will be gone by the time you get there. And if you actually showed up to compete while you were high, then
That's a whole
they
different
should,
story.
yeah, they should kick your ass out. But that's the same thing as like being on a job. Like my job, they don't drug test at my job for THC. If I can smoke as much weed as I want to, as long as I don't show up to work high, like, they don't care. Because like, there's people who operate powerlifting equipment, and obviously they don't want them operating that equipment under any type of. Now, what they do in their free time is their business. They want to smoke weed and get drunk on their time. That's their business, but they just can't show up and operate that machinery under because then it would affect their performance. So,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I understand. one day we'll see it happen. But until that day, know the rules.
Fight him if you disagree with him.
Fight them
No
when
one
if
after
you
battle.
disagree with them, but also
G.I. Joe.
but also fight them at the appropriate time. Don't be mad when it's enforced
Yeah.
to the people that are popping off without all the information. And shout outs to Shakari for standing up for what she did. That's pretty honorable. So, anywho,
What would you expect from a Teen Titan?
anywho, yo, oh gosh, oh man. All right, I think we're gonna hop into this last thing then. Do I have anything else I wanted to pop up? I don't think so. All right, so I kind of had the idea, and like your idea intermingles with my idea of hopping into a discussion about the good and the bad of things. Um, and kind of the first thing we can kind of jump into is, well, today is the 4th of July, so we can talk about that for a little bit, and then we could break down some different pieces and stigmas, and maybe even bring in Dr. Umar Johnson. Yay, that'd be cool.
I don't want to do
You
that.
don't want to do that? Do you know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, Kyle?
No,
No? You're gonna learn today.
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
You go,
Oh
you gonna
man.
learn today.
Is he the son of
Uh,
John?
no.
Is he the son of who?
John. Johnson. Son of John.
Oh my God.
He's the
That's
descendant
where
of,
that last name comes from.
yeah, that's such a weird thing. Like they still do that in like
They do it in Iceland
I
still.
was saying like is it Nordic countries? I know they do for like
I don't know if Sweden and Finland and Norway do it, but I know Iceland does it.
because for the longest time I didn't understand why people had like the same like last couple syllables of the last
So
name.
yeah, if you're the son, it's Frank's son, or if you're the daughter, you're Frank daughter.
I was like, bro, what?
That's extremely creative.
Right? So like literally you could have the same last name as somebody and not be related at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which like it makes sense, but at the same time it's like a little bit confusing. And they do something kind of similar in
I mean, I've got the same last name as a bunch of other Schultzes, and they're all just like, no, I'm not related to you at all.
maybe somewhere up the tree.
Yeah, maybe somewhere over there, but I'm I'm Dutch mostly. I'm Dutch and Polish. All the other ones I met, they're German.
I mean, isn't that kind of close?
No, Dutch is Denmark.
But that's like right next to. Is it right next to
I think it's
Germany?
close to Norway.
I'm tripping then.
If I'm correct, I could be wrong.
I am heavy tripping. We're going to check that out. Okay. Dude, I'm trying to think of like a title for this. I don't know how to put this together. Uh,
America.
I mean, that's how I was going to start off. You know what? That's good enough. We'll go with it. That's definitely how I was going to start off, but maybe we change it a little bit. All good. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you put your feelings out there. Look at how you feel about this holiday.
So the 4th of July. On a surface level, it's not really what people say. On a surface level, I think it's another holiday made to sell merchandise. Honestly, that's like come buy our red, white, and blue everything. Like that's what I think it is on the surface. On a deeper level, it's a celebration of history. And on a personal level, for me, growing up, because I was just reading about this, because these types of discussions I always and how like kids are made to sing like the national anthem and say the Pledge of Allegiance while they're growing up in school, which obviously I did those things. But as a kid, you don't really understand why you're doing these things or why these things are happening until you get older and you learn more. And like where I'm at now in my life,
Let me ask you a question.
the amount of things that are happening in this country that look that are happening to people who look like me, uh, I don't feel like this country represents her fairly. So to me, like I don't feel the need to celebrate the 4th of July because the independence that we're supposed to be celebrating isn't the same thing for everybody. And until it means the same thing for everybody, it's like, what are we really celebrating? So that's my personal stance on it. Now, if you want to just go like have a good, that's cool. It's the same thing with like Christmas, Easter. How like we definitely go through the motions and we have our little celebration, and not everybody is actually celebrating like Jesus's resurrection or Jesus's birthday. You know what I mean? Some people just want the presents. Some people just want to spend time with their family. That's fine. Do what you do. But so I'm not condemning the celebrating. But like as far as the reason we're supposed to be celebrating, like it, like what for me, why? Like on July 4th, I'm gonna wear red, white, and blue everything, and then on July, so
Dang.
like what do what do I have? Or maybe it'll happen on July 4th while I'm out.
We
You
we
know what I mean?
miss we miss peace.
Yeah, we missed the punchline.
What happens on July
Exactly.
5th?
On July 5th, I'll get pulled over. So
I mean, did you do something bad?
I mean,
You
like
heard it here, folks. It's bad to be black. That's what he just said. He gave me one of
but
these.
yeah, but nah, like I'm wearing this Captain America today because I like Captain America. I'm not necessarily celebrating America. I would wholeheartedly stand for the things America is supposed to represent, but I don't believe it actually represents those things. It maybe it did at one point, maybe it was intended to, but
Way
it
back then.
does not. Yeah, but it does not represent those things now. Like we don't we're not a land of tolerance. We're not a land of acceptance or, you know, we're not accepting of like diversity or inclusion or anything like that. At least those are my personal feelings. I would love to fight to get to that point, but we're not there.
Word. Kyle, got thoughts? Watch July 4th.
Uh, well, first off, I just want to say that like I missed the memo on wearing something red, white, and blue, but I don't have anything red, white, and blue because to me, in my opinion, like
You
I
ain't got an
don't
action
believe
figure or something somewhere? Just hold it
I
up.
got Supergirl.
There you go.
I don't believe in branding the American flag because it goes against the U.S. Flag code of conduct, the law. Um, and that's one thing that I don't like that we do as a country is that we brand the American flag, and it just looks way too gaudy. Like I don't want to see people out there wearing an American flag on their underwear or on their, you know, overalls. Yeah, yeah, I see it. I think to me it's a little too much. That's my opinion. Um, but everyone else can do what they want to do. But there's a lot of things again that's against the U.S. flag code that we break. Uh, but my views on the country as a whole, as far as America, is pretty much close to lights. Is that we don't we're not a country for the inclusive. It's all about one way or no way, in a certain parameter, I guess. Um, I can't really say we're the best country in the world, because Canada's a thing.
Could run around full speed up there.
I mean, let's look up number one country in the world. You'll get Canada. We're number 7.
I'm looking this up right now.
Watch, my foot's gonna be in my mouth. It's gonna be like
Canada ranked the number one country
hmm.
in the world. I'm so confused.
We're number 7 or we're number 6, I believe. Last time I checked, we were 7.
Oh, Canada.
Our home and native land. Yep, number 6.
Dang. I mean, Japan? Japan, though?
Yeah, they just
Switzerland?
got suicide nets outside of their buildings. So
I mean, that's a different topic. But Japan, though? Free healthcare here?
and that's one thing that people like. They're like, you don't get free healthcare in Canada. You got to pay for it with your taxes. That's the point.
I'm willing through the taxes. Not everyone out there is running around full speed and jumping off of buildings and getting hurt every weekend. Like people are healthy,
Yeah.
physically.
How? That's a question for you. How many people celebrating today are going to be in America?
I'm gonna assume you said in an emergency room in America, correct?
Yeah.
This podcast became Jeopardy.
Oh my god, I don't know what's going on.
In Perspective, the Jeopardy edition.
I'm down to do an episode like that. That'd be really cool, dude. I've actually thought about that.
We could bring back a segment that I used to post on Facebook all the time with you. Things like says ?
I'm digging it.
me, him, and another buddy of ours. We used to go at Walmart at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. just to bullshit, go, walk around and all that.
The
And
mall.
he would be slap happy. And, man, I got videos on my Facebook of him just laughing his ass off over a sign that says boobies. And one that said butthole.
Bro.
Anyway.
I mean, those are some funny words sometimes.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Well, my perspective on the holiday, I would say is kind of similar. Um, I'm I'm big on acknowledging the good and the bad,
Yeah.
which like to some degree I can see how that could be harmful when we're not when
We
we're
can't
talking
rip
about the good
if we don't
and
both.
the bad at the same time because then people want to focus on just the good. But at the same time, I think in order to have a conversation about the bad, you have to give up something. And I think being able to discuss the good is the thing that you have to give up. Because people are always going to push back on trying to get their side or their point across.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like what you were saying about I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it by saying one word: indoctrination of, I guess, being a patriot. Where you're saying like in school we have to sing the national anthem and the pledge and all that stuff. And I think about that a lot now because I remember when I was in elementary school on a military base, and we used to do that stuff all the time.
I never sang the national anthem. I just stood there like this.
Yeah. Huh.
I didn't like. I was the outcast in school. I didn't like doing things everyone else did.
Mm-hmm.
I sat in the back of the class and observed people.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to say, but I didn't like the fact that we all had to stand up in class and look in the same area, and it felt too weird to me, to say the least. Like I probably most likely did it when I was younger, but as far as I can remember, I know when I was in elementary school, I just did not sing it at all. So
Yeah.
I know when I was in choir and we had to sing it, I was.
That's the other part too. It's like all the songs that we could sing, which like arguably that's probably one of the songs that we'll all hear other than like pop songs or whatnot on the radio. But like I think about that, there were so many like patriotic songs that we would sing. I would say
Yeah.
specifically on the military base, which I guess arguably makes sense since it's a bunch of army kids and whatnot.
Sing every verse of the national anthem. There's like 4 or 5 verses of that song. It is long.
Oh, like the actual poem, not just the song itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just the actual poem, like that is dumb. Not doing that.
The extended version. But yeah, um, so that part, thinking about it now, I feel a little bit more weird about that because it's like pretty much you're being indoctrinated to a certain degree. You're made to
Yeah,
believe that some of these things are completely true. They might be partially true for some people, as you guys kind of alluded to. Um, there's that. But at the same time, I will say that America is a better country than has better living conditions for a decent amount of people than some of these other countries that we can look at. Um, don't necessarily have to be too specific because I know we can all name at least one country that this is a better country than. As far as like, I go to America, I have a chance of
yeah,
living relatively luxurious or at least decent, and you have like some mobility. It's not just like straight up you're in a living condition that's completely poor and you're stuck there, like actually
yeah,
stuck there. Like there are ways to move up. Sometimes those ways to move up aren't as accessible to certain individuals, but at least I'm not just like out in the woods and there's a freaking snake that's like in a tree above me and I'm just gonna die day two of my life. Like
Okay, my man out here with the wild comparisons.
I mean, the point is, we're living in a civilization that has systems in place to
right.
protect that are supposed to protect. Sometimes
Yeah,
they don't
Yeah,
always
supposed
protect.
to.
Yeah, this is why I'm
The
being
key
clear
word
with
is
what I'm saying, because I'm acknowledging both sides. It doesn't always work that way, but it's supposed to. It's put in place to do these things. Arguably, it's put in place not to do these things for certain people, but like that, I don't know. I can't say yes or no to that towards that.
I can say that.
I mean,
I can say
that's fair, but
that.
like, what happens if the one anecdotal time where you do get protected by something, and then what?
I mean, that's fine. You like I said. Well, I didn't say this on stream, but it's
Oh,
like, all right, you 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 harass me 4 times, and then when people are watching, you do what you're supposed to do.
dude.
So, technically, you're still doing your job, and then that way you can actually say that, yeah, I'm protecting everybody. It doesn't matter that I pulled that one black guy over. The one time I helped him out, so I'm helping out everybody. I'm just also harassing and targeting specific people more than others. But we don't. That's there's definitely a numbers game, and they definitely play the system. They take advantage of things, because the system is run by people who do have agendas and directly benefit from the oppression of certain groups of people. And that's just the way things run. You know,
hmm
people are born into families and corporations, and put in positions to continue the roles that were played by their predecessors, um, and then the cycle continues. So, yeah, the system is supposed to, on paper, be equal and protect everybody. Definitely doesn't happen. I'll say that. Like, we're not. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's a hypothetical situation. These things definitely do not happen the way they're supposed to, and that's why
At least not
I
all
have
the time.
stopped. Like, yeah, and well, that's why I said the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, um,
Or you're saying you said they don't happen the way that they're supposed to.
well, I said, okay, they don't happen the way they're supposed to, because the way they're supposed to happen is everything's supposed to be fair and equal for everybody all the time. Like,
But
everybody's supposed to have equal.
but you're making it sound like, and this is why I don't like the way people word things, because to me, I would say for me, I don't know if Kyle feels the same way or not, but to me, that sounds like you're saying the way it's supposed to happen never happens ever. But you're saying, but you're making that one little clause in there. The way it's supposed to happen is all the time, but like you still have to acknowledge that like good things still do happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, sure, I can like win the lottery and get shot the next. Like, I guess technically a good thing happened. Like,
Come on. Are you still alive? Because you still got all that money.
Maybe I'm a vegetable. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead.
I mean, I'd rather be a
Like,
fruit, but it's fine.
bro. Like the thing is, like the magnitude of the comparisons is, and like I've been on the receiving end of racism. I've been on the receiving end of police brutality. Um, so like these things aren't hypothetical for me. They're not hypothetical for a lot of people. That's the point. Like, sure, like these situations are hypothetically supposed to be a level playing field. They're not in actuality, and that's the problem I have. So yeah, sometimes good things happen to everybody, but it's not. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to work, and that's why we have like social justice movements. That's why we're pushing for, and why people criticize certain members of the government and stuff like
Hmm.
because things aren't the way that they were intended to be. Like yes, things are worse in other places, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't fight for things to be better.
Of course,
Yeah.
we're always trying to improve. Oh, okay. Wasn't sure. No, no, I wasn't sure if Kyle was gonna add anything else.
No, I was just fixing something over there. I
Okay.
don't have anything to add. I mean, other than the fact that there's like good and bad in America, but that's also it can be said about a lot of countries. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's good and bad things about Canada or Greece or I don't know other countries. I mean, every country has their bad and their good. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
I would argue. I would argue though. Like I agree with that point. I do, but
But I
I
also
would argue.
that this country is not ready to change unless they actually commit to a lot of things that need to change in this society. Um, like something I shared the other day on Facebook. Like, I'll believe America's going to change when they completely disband and illegalize neo Nazis and the KKK.
I don't know where he is on my screen right now, but
He's
like,
below.
I'm believe you.
yeah, this right here.
Like the FBI calls them a civil rights group. Uh, they're okay, but also look at juggalos. They're just people who love the juggalo music, and they're recognized as a gang to the FBI. When they, I mean, yeah, there's probably bad people that are juggalos and all that and commit crimes and everything, and are deserving of the title of gangs or gang members, but 90% of the juggalos I know, they're just stoners that like music, albeit in my opinion, crappy music, and like putting clown makeup on. They're like millennial Kiss members, or the
Yo.
opposite. People who love Kiss are just boomer juggalos.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that is crazy. Because you have people who are legitimately a hate group
Yeah,
that are not legally classified as a hate.
yeah.
While again, you target people who aren't really doing too much of anything. They're definitely not like, oh,
Like
not exist. Like,
the very fiber of their belief system is the fact that white is superior, every other race bow down.
yeah.
And something that a lot of people don't realize is that the people who founded the KKK were Confederate soldiers. They were people in the Confederacy. They literally lost the war and goes, I'll just make a religious group. That's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I just
Yeah.
got my ass handed to me in that war. I'll show us somehow.
And you know what's crazy? It would be very easy. It would be super easy for the government to be like, Nope. Anybody still engaging in this activity,
You cut out.
taking part. All right.
We heard anyone engaging in this activity, quiet, taking part.
It, anyone in this engaging in this activity, like we're now going to consider this illegal.
Yeah.
Like it would be super easy for the government to do that and just leave that rule there and just not touch it.
Yeah.
Why don't they?
What are you hoping that does?
I mean, the fact, like, of course, making laws doesn't always a complete. The thing is, for the most part,
Cut out.
if it was the law, right? If being in the KKK was illegal, or displaying KKK, any proof of being, sorry, and if being in the KKK was illegal, it would deter people from doing it just off of that. Maybe not everybody, because the system is not perfect. Um, but there would be consequences at that, because right now there's no consequences for being in the. If you had consequences, maybe say what?
Feedback.
It, if you if you had consequences for being in the, then maybe you wouldn't stop people from doing it, but at least you could lock those people up and get them away from the people they're trying to hurt.
Mm.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
getting some feedback off of
Alright. I'm
off
trying
of
to make sure
lights.
Alright. Yeah, this thing's old. I need to get a new one.
But yeah, I see what
But
you
yeah,
mean. Like on paper, yes, and maybe it'll scare away a decent amount because I know not everybody within a social movement, if you want to call it that, not everybody within a social movement is all about that. They just kind of want somewhere to be, and then potentially get in trouble for doing something. You're going to probably back down.
Yeah.
So I think it'll knock out like a decent amount of people, but
And that's the thing is that it's been illegal before. And I think it was 1876, Ulysses S. Grant made the Ku Klux Act, which basically in 7 counties in South Carolina, it made it wholeheartedly illegal to be part of the Ku Klux Klan. It wasn't until like 5 or 6 years later, the Supreme Court's like, nah, no, that's not a thing. And that was it.
bro, what?
I think they cited that the fact that it was unconstitutional, which is,
Freedom of speech.
yeah, dumb. Freedom of speech and I think assembly, which assembly would be peaceful assembly.
so basically you have all of the 1900 that the KKK has been allowed to organize, grow, indoctrinate more people, spread more misinformation
Yeah.
without any type of ramifications or consequence. It's like even if you can't stop people from doing it, like you could at least keep these terrible people away from the rest of society.
Yeah.
Is this what I'm supposed to be looking at?
Because certain people, and again, I saw the thread that Kyle was talking about, and
Yeah.
I commented on it because there's a bunch of people who, and
18.
I'll just say that there's a bunch of white people who are like, well, we can just ignore the KKK and we can pretend they don't exist. And I'm like, okay, but that doesn't work if you're black. Like, because
Yeah.
these people are directly threatening your existence.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how like how can I say this? There was a moment where when I made that post, or I shared that post, and I'm like, oh, cool. A lot of people are just sharing it and heart reacting or whatever, you know. And then some people were commenting like, oh boy, why'd you comment that? You don't leave that up. So I'm like, oh boy, why'd you comment that? Oh no. Oh no. I'm like, I should probably delete this. Then I start like got 60 comments. I'm like, oh my lord. I'm like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. You got
Like I
people
could I was
standing
just
for
like
the
reading all the
KKK like
comments.
boy band.
It's like I can see what they were trying to get at, but their wording.
All of it wasn't just wording, but
Oh no. Yeah.
like some of
Believe me,
that
there's
was white privilege.
yeah.
I'm just listening.
Oh, I thought you had something to say,
No, I'm just listening. Just chilling.
but yeah, like that's something super easy the government could do and just doesn't do. It's like, oh, okay, like I don't know. There's until I feel as safe and as free as Kyle or any other white member of society, then to me, like it's whatever.
Dude, I have issues. You think I feel safe?
I was gonna ask that. I was like, did he get that information from you?
Like,
How
but
how
still,
safe
but
do
it's
you feel? That's what I want to know.
how safe
I
do
look
I
at
feel?
everyone like a stranger. Like, why are you getting that close to me right now? What are you doing? What? Oh, you're just picking something up. Okay. I'm sorry. Go at it. Why are you getting close to me? What are you doing? Oh no, you're just walking past me. Okay. I'm becoming a hermit. It's only a matter of time till I build a yurt and go to the wilderness and just live out the rest of my life.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty safe, even giving my was my man. I'm trying to do a funny there, but I can't do the funny.
When was the last time you left the house, Devin? You gotta think about it. That means it's been too long.
I mean, I guess
And
my
I'm no longer a
previous.
hermit in this group.
I mean, I work from home, so that exacerbates the situation. But I guess my previous 25 years of life outside of my house doesn't matter at all.
Not at all.
Because
That does not count. You get a redo.
I felt
You get a
relatively safe
mulligan.
during that time period too. So to answer your question, the last time I left the house was probably, did I go somewhere last week? It was probably 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Like left the house, actually go
Well,
somewhere. 2 weeks. I-
again, I don't want to be SJW Liggett, but uh, so there's a post going around right now that's like getting reshared, and it's from a police officer who lives in Ferguson, which is 20 minutes away from my house. You know, that's where all the Michael Brown stuff happened. You know, uh, but it's from a police officer, and he had one of those tattoos where it's like you rip the skin off and the Confederate flag is underneath it. And
What?
the post is,
Um,
oh, yeah, the post is I guess I gotta get this covered up now because I'm a cop in Ferguson. And instead of like he got the Confederate flag covered up with uh the Punisher skull, but it's the thin blue line flag. and, and
I hate that
you know,
so
basically, and so the top of the meme is that, and the bottom of the meme is the meme from The Office where it's like, tell me the difference between these two picture. Like, so that's the meme. So like when you say like, do I feel safe? I'm like, no, because people like that are like right here. Like I can. I can take like a 30-minute trip somewhere and potentially run in like, and he's a cop. He's
Yeah.
a cop in the St. Louis area, so he has the power to make my life hell. You know what I mean?
Are you assuming he would because he has a Confederate flag on his arm?
Uh, I mean, that's. I mean, I don't know why if you don't have those beliefs about people like us. You know, you don't have some type of a superiority complex or inferiority complex, depending on how you look at it. Um, but yeah, and then like just I live right on the edge of St. Louis. I go into St. Louis, like I drive through it all the time for work, for leisure purposes. Like, um, I'm in and out of there all the time, and it's not the quote unquote gangsters or gang members that I'm afraid of. It's the cops. Like, it's the people who have like the swastikas and the Confederate and the big old uh Trump stickers on the back of their trucks. Like, I was coming home the other day, I seen a truck and it had the Punisher skull, but it was an American flag. So we're talking about branding flags. Like, the Punisher skull, but it was American. And then on the forehead of the Punisher skull, they put a Trump sticker. And I was like, bro, what? Like, Frank Castle would not approve.
All right, for those that are listening to this and want to know what part of the U.S. flag code I'm talking about, it is the flag should never have placed on it or attached to it any mark, insignia, letter, word, number, figure, or drawing of any kind. It's basically saying that get that audio out of the way. Basically, the way I word or the way I look at it is that it's saying that, like I was saying, don't brand the American flag. You can't put the swastika on the American flag. You can't put the Confederate flag on the American flag. You can't put anything on there, or any letter, or any number, or anything like that. But we do that, and like the companies actually sell that. I mean, I understand where if you're government officials or army and all that, and you got your patch on there, that makes sense to me. But hold on, let me try to. There we go. I just think like, how do we have these codes in place and just ignore them?
What if they're interpreting it as like the flag itself, like on the flagpole and all that jazz?
Maybe.
Which I'm not
Yeah.
saying I agree with that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's
That's a
like the
possibility.
loophole behind that.
That is some grade A cop out material right
I
there.
mean, is it
Yeah.
would it necessarily be a flag at that point? Like if it's just on a shirt?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but still, like
Oh, it's
Yeah.
stupid for
that's
sure.
yeah, like
It's like
that's some grade A.
yeah. There's also another one where like everyone knows the U.S. flag cannot touch the ground or cannot touch skin or anything like that. But then there's people who want to call themselves quote unquote patriots where they have the flag and they're taking it and they're doing this.
Olympics.
Like, don't do that. Don't do that at all. That's a college flag. It's not the state flag or anything. So
Yeah. No, they do that all the time
yeah,
in the Olympics and whatnot, especially with track events after winning. So like I think about that stuff.
because I think in the U.S. flag code it says like the U.S. flag must remain free aloft and not touch ground or not touch any person or something like that.
Yeah. And that's like it's a federal law, right? Like if
Yeah,
it's a felony if you break those.
yeah.
That's weird to think about.
I was gonna say something, but that's a completely different topic, and take away from the gravity.
Go
Because
ahead.
if we're done talking about, I was just gonna say, speaking of felony,
You cut out.
we didn't talk about we didn't. We didn't talk about Corey.
Oh man. I mean, if y'all want to talk about that, I'm here to listen.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, I'm down. I'll listen and add my points, but I'll let you lead that. Kyle Massey. Have you watched That's So
Play
Oh,
Corey.
Raven or
what
Corey in
what
the
did he
House?
do? What did he do now?
Go ahead, Leggett.
He's getting hit with a felony um, for sending pornographic images to a girl who was 13 years old.
Oh
Like,
my god! If this is 100% like true, factual, and all that,
yeah.
send him to jail for the rest of his life. Like that is my stance. Granted, I also think that if you take a life, I mean, I believe in the eye for an eye to an extent. Like,
yeah.
I don't think all these people on death row should be sitting there and we're paying for them to live. Just, I
Yeah.
mean, for lack of a better
Just what?
fielding,
Kill them?
take them out.
Oh, bro.
I mean, just from a financial standpoint, it would be cheaper. But
Yeah.
I mean,
uh,
pro-life or pro-choice? All right.
Yes.
we just
All right.
now allegedly Kyle Massey did this in 2019, and we're just now they like reached a verdict, or I don't know if the trial's going on. Yeah,
What a sicko.
Whoa, allegedly.
Yeah.
alleged.
Alleged signal.
I kind of. Oh, so he's 29 now.
Or immoral purposes of sexual nature.
$1.5 million. See, that's okay. I have a question. When
Okay.
people are, I don't know, when you're suing somebody, I'm not assuming that either one of y'all have ever sued anybody, but
Not yet.
when you
Not that I plan to.
when you're suing somebody, is there a limit for how much you're trying to sue them for?
Well,
Ask Google.
I mean, is there
what
like an
it,
ethical way to go about that, do you think?
I would imagine so. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I play one on TV, but
man, see, my first like gut reaction is like, if somebody rich does some heinous shit to me, bro, I'm going for everything you got.
I mean, that's so subjective though. Some people think, and to some degree, yes, it is. Some people think cheating on somebody is heinous.
well, I can't sue somebody for cheating on me.
Okay.
I mean, you probably could.
Well,
I'm
like
pretty sure you can get like a
divorce, like when
lawyer.
people
Yeah,
divorce,
like
it's similar.
yeah. I'm pretty sure you can get a
Like,
lawyer on there, like on your side, and be like, "Oh yeah, he like she mentally like fucked up my client, like he is."
Yeah, exactly.
man, I don't know. It depends on the situation, honestly, because like me personally, I've never like I'm just so down bad sue another regular person. But no, if like Charlie Sheen like hits me with his car, like oh yeah, bro, my neck, my spine, both
Wow.
my legs, like I don't care if it's just a slight headache. Like oh, I think I might have a concussion. like,
Man, that's not even funny, bro. I couldn't be the one. Like if it was on
Well,
purpose, like I'm at
yeah.
least getting damaged. No, stop. You say, "Oh, I might have a concussion." Like, get out of here.
No, I guess it just depends. It's like these are jokes, but like I don't know. Like if you,
I just feel dirty. I always feel dirty cheating anybody out of whatever the case might
I
be.
guess okay. So in this situation, like we're putting we're labeling the victim the bad guy because
No,
they're asking
no, no. I just asked a question. I'm not labeling
like
nobody as nothing. I think there's an
this.
extent to how much you should be taking or asking for.
So what is the extent though?
Okay, but like, okay, I'm gonna think about it like this then. I'm gonna go ahead and accept the claim that I'm labeling them as a bad guy. I don't feel like I'm doing that, but okay. Um, because like in this
Well, I
case,
wasn't saying you specifically, but
man, we was talking about what we was talking about.
okay.
All right, in this case, suing for 1.5, which okay, I don't know who this individual is.
Yeah.
So there's always that piece. Um, but I'm thinking if you're going to sue like some regular old person, are you going to sue them for 1.5? Do you want to sue to the point where it's going to hurt them? Do you want to sue to the point where like you feel like it suffices the pain that you received, or is it like I don't know what the mindset is
You
behind
know what?
1.5 million in this case.
That's that's interesting because let's say hypothetically you sue a celebrity, right? And they're worth like $50 million, and they make like 15 million a year, right? Let's just throw that number out. So, uh, something like this happens, and you sue that celebrity for 1.5 million, 2 million. Let's say you sue them for 10 million, right? Uh, are you really hurting them if they can go make like 3 movies and make that money back? Like, like the amount of money that you're taking from that person is not going to affect their way of living at all. It's not going to affect their like they're not going to lose any future income over it. Are you actually affecting that person? Are you are you really hurting them? Like if I sue Jeff Bezos for $100 million, he's not missing that.
Good old Lex Luthor.
I think it all depends on what the charge is. Because in this case, this is quote unquote heinous enough to mess with his career or what's left of his career, I would say.
Yeah, but we were talking earlier about consequences, and if he
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
did
but I'm
this,
I'm just saying like to answer your question because you're asking if it's going to actually hurt them enough. Like it can because like you might not get those 3 movies afterwards because of the charge is like a heinous charge and no one wants to work with that. And the same thing with like
well,
royalties and whatnot. They're not going to be wanting to put his shows on TVs anymore because it his name is on it and it looks bad. Just like the same thing that's happening with R. Kelly right now. That man could be making still millions of dollars right now. But since his name
yeah,
is
but
attached to some heinous stuff, like he's not making more money.
R. Kelly deserves it. I'll say that on record.
Okay. But nobody's denying that. But
But
like
that's
in
what I'm
that
saying. Like,
you got it.
but like the way people word it though, like the phrasing is like, oh, it could mess with the charges could ruin their lives or their career. I'm like, okay, but they wouldn't have the charges if they did.
Potentially, we have to
So,
see what happens in court and what's ruled to be true or not. If
all right.
even if it isn't true or not, like it's stupid how that works, but
Like I just don't like that mentality. It's like, oh well, the charges are what is ruining their lives. Like, no. what they did
Allegedly.
is what is the cause of it. You know, these are just the consequences and people's reactions to their actions. So
What happens if they didn't do it?
then, you know, I hope they're exonerated. But
Is the public going to exonerate them? And that's when it turns into ruining someone's life, and even though they didn't do anything. I'm not saying that's the case here, but like these are the situations. Like in both cases, more than likely, he ain't gonna be in the public light in a positive way. Like he's him and Drake Bell. We haven't talked about Drake Bell. But and Drake Bell are going to be just known as like these bad guys now. Which like I have nothing against that. I'm cool with that. If they did something bad, then they should be thought of as a bad guy. At least in certain lights anyway. But in the cases where nothing bad has actually happened, I'm not saying that's the case in either one of these cases, but they get screwed over, especially when people don't want to look back on it.
but I mean, like it's just public opinion. Like
And what
like the
about
facts are the facts would be
Drake's?
out there. The facts would be available to the public. I mean, you can't really do too much about people not looking stuff up.
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano. She buried herself, man. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
But this is what I'm talking about. What did she
Like
get
what?
charged
Okay, no,
with?
but it's not. Everything's not a court case, Tevin.
Okay, but I'm saying like the
Like,
public is going to see her in a certain light because of something that was surrounding her, and
but
like from that,
she said
I'm not
the
saying
things
I'm
that
not
she
defending her.
said.
I am not defending her. I'm not defending her. I'm just saying that the public is going to run with whatever they want to run with.
She compared being a Trump supporter to being in a concentration camp.
Yeah,
Being a
but
Republican
that's
or
what I'm saying.
certain, yeah,
Like these aren't. But this the Gina Carano situation is different because these aren't allegations. These aren't allegations. These are things that she said and put out on social media, and anybody can look at it and see that it was her accounts and it was her who actually said these things. These
Yeah.
aren't accusations. These aren't allegations. Like this was her.
Yeah. And anyone,
So yeah, go ahead.
I said, and anyone knows, anyone that has a job knows that anything you post on social media can be taken against you again in your job. You can get fired for things you post on social media. There have been things that I've posted from my time at Walmart that I've been told by AP, hey, take that down. Like, okay, I see your point. I will. Now, I never posted anything as extreme as she did or anyone else has. It was just stupid shit. It was integrity issues, as at the
hmm
end of the day is what it was. Not, you know what sounds great right now? Good old cookout with some Jewish people.
All right, we're taking her out. I get what you guys are getting at, and like I agree with you, but
Nah, I would never post anything like that. The family I come from, I got Jewish family in my history, so
bro, this man said a cookout. Wouldn't that be a cook-in?
Oh my
whatever.
god, we're not making this any better.
Hey,
Like,
why do you pick up Jewish chicks?
oh my
Wait,
god.
okay, I don't know what you just said, but I think we're
I'm not gonna
de-evolving
say
right now.
whatever.
We're digivolving. We're de-digivolving, my bad.
I'm not going to say that pickup line. That's a bad joke. That's a very
We're de-digivolving.
But yeah, if you
I'm just
like,
saying
I
the
don't,
public eye is gonna run with stuff, and if the public doesn't
and
like
the
you
public,
nowadays, it's gonna hurt your career, which sometimes is warranted, sometimes it's not. But that's it.
yeah, if the public doesn't like you because of some dumb shit you, I want to hear you. Like,
E E. All right. we'll slowly close this thing out. I don't think we can jump with that too much more. Um, Dr. Umar Johnson,
Oh my
and
god.
then we'll close out. I don't know what to look up for him.
Man, I guarantee you, if you look up there's gonna be some truth, and then he's gonna go off. That's how it always is.
We'll do some
Like,
out of context stuff since there's like I think there's
because
compilations.
I've heard this man on numerous occasions. Like when people like have a rebuttal to something he's talking about, he'll just be like, "Well, I don't trust their opinion because they're married." And I'm just like, "Bro, what? Like, come on!" Like,
I think that's a little bit out of context. I don't
it's
know.
not out of context though. Like, he literally says that shit. Like, I don't know, and that is like, if you want to talk about hoteps, that is like the first person that comes to mind. Is what's his nuts? And I like every time I see his face, they're like somebody posts, "Oh yeah, this we listen to this guy. He's spitting some real stuff." And then I see his face, and then I'm like,
I mean, some things he does say is legitimate, which again, the good
it's
with the
like what you
bad.
were saying earlier. Yeah, it's like what you were saying earlier. How technically good things can come from bad people,
Did I say that?
but yeah, you did. Not right now, but you said
I'm saying there's some good things, there's some bad things. I didn't say that good things come from bad people. Don't do that.
that.
Good things
I'm
probably do come from bad people.
I'm not claiming anyone's a bad person or a good person. I'm
Oh,
saying
I can't
people
think of anything, but
people could say some good things, people could say some bad things, and you shouldn't automatically qualify somebody as one thing just because you don't agree with. Full screen. I don't know what's gonna happen. Probably gonna get banned. It's not unmuted. Hold on. Here we go.
Can none of y'all tie my shoes? Can none of y'all YouTubers tie my shoes? Not none of you. Y'all can't touch me.
Kyle, I'm gonna need you to turn down your volume, sir.
Ooh,
Kyle,
oh.
his microphone's too strong.
What are you
You
looking
ghetto.
at?
You straight ghetto. You straight ghetto. That is not discipline. That's abuse. That is abuse. That is abuse. Nicki Minaj, I need that check. Bring me some Jerry's strawberry shortcake ice cream. The Ben and Jerry's strawberry shortcake ice cream. That's not my favorite though. My favorite is the Haagen-Dazs pineapple
compared to 50 million. Are you out of your mind? Reason number 2. How y'all doing, ladies?
God bless you. My oldest son, I didn't mean to point at you, sir.
Oh, no, that's all right. That's all right.
Keep doing everything that you're doing.
I appreciate you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Black women are beautiful, but let me refocus. Black women are beautiful, but let me
And the next time I see you, I want some nappy hair. All right, baby? Get rid of that pink hair, that burgundy hair, whatever you got going on right there. And I'm not knocking you. It's all right. Okay? But I want nappy-haired women. I want nappy-ass-headed black women. Big, pretty eyes, beautiful nose, beautiful lips, big hips, fat ass, big breasts. I want original African woman. Whether she be butter almond, whether she be pina colada, whether she be lemonade, whether she be sweet brown sugar, whether she be butter pecan, whether she be caramel, hot syrup, hot fudge. I want 100% nappy.
Well, all the
Nappy.
desserts.
If I cannot grab your hair, I don't need you. If I cannot grab your hair, I don't need you. Okay? If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
This for all the black women out there raising their kids, doing the best job they can, holding it down. I support you, queens. Stay strong. This is a kiss from Papa. Stop hating on the God.
No.
Stop
then look in the
hating.
glove compartment. It's in the glove compartment.
It gets no better than me. It gets no realer than this.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare sweat. Y'all don't want to sweat. Y'all don't want to sweat. Y'all just want to be comfortable.
I'm the Muhammad Ali of this conscious thing. I'm the Sean Carter of this conscious thing. I'm the Floyd Mayweather of this conscious thing. You hear me?
Donald Trump is no longer the president. Who you gonna blame now? Donald Trump is no longer the president. Who you gonna blame now? Donald Trump is no longer the president. Who you gonna blame now?
Good job, my brother. We rocking. Funny. It's funny to you, right? It's real funny.
Ain't that funny? Ain't it funny how everybody's an expert, but ain't got shit to show for their expertise, brothers and sisters?
We got the FDMG glove. Shout out to Worldwide and shout out to his mans. Duck and weaving. Duck and weaving. Duck and weaving. King Kong and these haters.
This man, there's a lot there, but also not a lot at the same time.
Oh boy. All right.
I hadn't previously seen any of those specific.
There's
I've seen
just
him on like
random
Breakfast Club.
clips.
Yeah, I've seen him on like Breakfast Club. I've seen him do like IG Live. This man, like, just go watch one of his interviews. Sometimes he does spit some facts, but like other times it's questionable.
See, why can't we acknowledge that? Both sides.
I did. I just said that.
I'm saying
Like-
in general, people tend not to do that.
Nah, some people deserve to get their mouth pissed in.
Is that an R. Kelly joke?
I don't know. Some people like Richard Spencer. Every time I see that clip of him getting punched, like that brings a tear of joy to my eye.
Richard Spencer.
He was a neo-Nazi. I think the year Trump got elected, he was out doing some type of rally, and he was talking to some counter protesters, and he gets his shit rocked for saying some dumb shit on camera, and people started like clipping it and making videos about it. That's good quality content. If you're a neo-Nazi and you get punched on camera,
Man, I mean, sure. You got it. Alright. Let's get
Yeah.
up out of here. Y'all got a song worth playing?
You find a royalty-free
Bro, you keep cutting out. You hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I'm already shutting stuff off.
Let's see, what can I find? We can do the 8-bit national anthem.
The 8-bit national anthem.
Yeah. If I can get one long enough. Yeah, maybe. If I can't find it, then we're just gonna do some lo-fi and get up out of here. Nope, nope, nope.
Let's just go with the lo-fi.
Yeah.
We ain't simping for America that hard.
I mean,
I'll simp for Captain America.
Here
I'll
we
send for America's ass.
That's America's ass.
My goodness. All right, we'll do this instead. Right, this is close enough, right? Somebody's
Agreed.
leaking.
Might be me. How's that?
Hello. I think you're good.
Alright, cool.
All right, light.
All right. Once again, I have been light. Hopefully, I've shed a little bit of light on your day.
Oh,
Thank you to everybody who's watching the podcast and keeps rocking with. I love y'all. I hope you all get to enjoy the finest of fine things on this lovely evening. Shout out to Captain America because you a real one. Shout out to Chris Evans, you a real one. And go check out my new song. Available now on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. And stay healthy, stay hydrated. If you're gonna firework responsibly. And that's all I got.
Go ahead, Kyle.
As always, I'm Schulte. Thank you guys for having me on here, and let me just randomly pop in. In a couple months' time, I'll be graduating from school,
Hey.
and I won't have to worry about schoolwork. So, yeah, in like 3 months, I'll be down in Florida on vacation. So, I'm excited.
All right, Florida.
But shout out to everyone who helps me creatively, whether it's with my writing or photography or anything in general. Everyone have a great 4th of July and leave some milk and cookies out for Captain America, and shoot some fireworks in honor of Michael Bay. You know.
Yo. Oh man.
Well, shout out to Miss Richardson, by the way. Shout out to Miss Richardson. We're rocking with you.
Yes.
IRL Starfire.
Shooting laser beams and everything. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate having you guys on. It's always fun. Always nice to have these conversations. Not everyone is willing to have these conversations, so I do appreciate that. Shout out to Gio. I know he has a show going on today, so excited for that. Hope to hear about it next time we get into conversation again. Shout out to the people that like people that do bad things, but also do good things.
Because, occasionally good people do bad things.
And occasionally bad people do good things.
Yeah.
And we should be able to separate the two.
Yes.
You don't have to love the person, but you can love the actions. And you can also hate the actions. If you don't believe that, that's cool too. What else? Follow the podcast. That's pretty much it. At Perspective, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, yep, Twitch, all the places. We'll keep doing this. We'll be rocking. I have some ideas for things to do. Still trying to mess with this overlay, but whenever it gets to that, we'll change some stuff up. It'll be fun. Do some Jeopardy. Some other game show type things. I think would be cool to incorporate that. Keep it lighthearted. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man.
Boom, 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 boom.
Y'all got anything else?
No,
You good?
I got nothing.
The name of the moon.